This first one, larger profit margin than you're looking for. So what we're talking about there is, look, if you want to increase your winning percentage, if you're looking for 2 to 1, meaning risking 1 to make 2, make sure that the chart is offering you 3 to 1. Always make sure the chart is offering you more than what you're looking for, and that will help you increase your winning percentage. Does that make sense? So let's say you're looking to get 4 to 1 out of a trade. Well, make sure that the chart is offering at least 5 to 1 or 6 to 1. You decide. Does that make sense? Okay. So make sure that the chart is actually offering you more than what you're looking for. For example, this pound is moving, is really dropping. And if you look over here on the 30-minute, there's really not a whole lot to stop it from dropping until it gets down to here. And we'll map out a level down here. Okay. But one thing we can do, I want to take this another step deeper. So does everybody see, let's see, do you see my pointer here? So we've got our base and our drop. That's what creates the supply level here, okay? Remember, the fact that prices dropped out of this level tells us that supply exceeds demand here. That's the big stack of orders on the trade desk that we always talk about. This is where the banks and institutions have their orders. So, but this initial drop in price, let's focus on this for a moment, because what this does is tell us once this drop in price happens, in other words, once prices come back to the level, we know the lowest low that was created between the time that the level was created and when price came back to the level. Make sense? So we know what that lowest low is. This lowest low tells us where the kind of the easiest money, what the initial profit margin is for us, what the initial profit zone is for us, right? In other words, when price comes back for the entry here, we know that there's no significant demand until this 158 right around 70 low or lower. Okay, does everybody understand that? There really can't be, right? And the logic, the reason we know that is because if there was demand higher, price never would have been able to fall all the way down to this 158.70. So when price comes back up for entry, which some of you have taken, nice job. We're usually good for a move back down to at least this low, and then of course lower. Okay. All right, and then we'd have to look to the left to see where the demand is below that. But so if we determine that, so if we say, you know what, okay, we now based on the time that based on when this trade meant entry, we know we're pretty good. The odds are pretty good that you're going to come down to here because these sellers. That's, the sellers or supply that sold in this drop absorbed all the significant demand, at least down to this level, but no lower, right? Okay. So, therefore, if we feel we're pretty good to this level, okay, what you might want to do is consider taking profit a bit earlier. You see what I'm saying? Take it before that area. In fact, let me make this the blue line, right here. Give me just a moment. Little cable problem there. Had to fix it. Okay. So just want to make sure we're all clear on this. So the fact that price dropped down to where this black line is, which the black line has nothing to do with it. I'm just marking off the low of the move. Remember, for those that live, say, in anybody live in the north where it snows? Anybody, see snow? I live in Chicago, born and raised in Chicago. And, in the winters when it snows a lot, in the morning you want to drive down the main roads because they've been, the snow plows remove the snow there first. You stay away from the side roads. Well, that's exactly what's happening right here. Okay? This is the snow plow effect down here. In other words, all the kind of the pioneer sellers here are absorbing, they're doing all the dirty work for us. For those of you that actually took this trade here, these guys did the dirty work for you, so you should send them a thank you note. In other words, they absorbed all the significant demand until this low, right? And then obviously there was some kind of demand here, and then price shot up, which we wanted for our short entry right here. But so if we have evidence that this is where the demand is, then consider getting out before the demand. In other words, let's say this is 4 to 1 here. Okay. Put your target at 3 to 1. Make sense? You're going to have here's your entry. I'll circle that. And, this would be your target. So let me just capture that picture again for you. And this is a big thing. It may not seem like a big thing, but again, if you want to increase your winning percentage, this is a pretty good way to do it. All right. So yeah, so top circle would be the entry that I know a bunch of you took, and the bottom circle would be your exit. Now, the downside to doing this, you're going to get a lot of winners, but you're going to miss out on some bigger profits, right? Remember, there's an upside and a downside to all this stuff, right? So you just have to balance that out and do what you're comfortable doing. For me, what I like to do is one thing to consider is potentially taking money off the table here and moving my stop. Sometimes move my stop to break even, but not usually. But you can. In other words, you can take some profit here, move your stop to break even on the rest, things like that. Okay. But for the most part, I like going for a little bit bigger move. Okay. Yeah. So Brian from I think you're saying Singapore there, which I'll be in Singapore I think in April. How do you know the trade's coming beforehand? Once the supply level is created, and again, if you're new to the session, try to go back and watch some of those recordings. Yeah, you want to know where you're at in the big picture there too. So we're gonna map that out in a moment, right? So base drop here, that's our supply level. We sell short here. We take the pivot low, the lowest low prior to the entry, and put your target above that. Now, again, this is a scenario where the chart is probably offering you the move from the supply level to the black line, but take your profit a little early before that. You're just going to have a much easier time getting filled.